Horrible news over the weekend as terrorists carried out another brutal beheading, showing the murder of American aid worker in a gruesome video that was released this weekend. Now, experts point out key differences between this video and the previous videos, which, of course, they analyzed to see what kind of intel they can get from it. That video marking the execution of Western hostages. Now, welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. Peter Kasich, a former U.S. Army Ranger from Indiana. He formed a relief group to help Syrian refugees. His family remembering his love for the Syrian people and his desire to ease their suffering. It is not clear when he was actually killed, but the video came out shortly after a visit in Iraq by General Martin Dempsey, chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
I don't think there's any question that he was probably killed last month, but they waited for the Dempsey visit, again, to drag out these horrible images and put them in front of the world to sort of gain the advantage, if you will, over any attempt by the United States to reestablish credibility in the region.
Brutal and awful. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge live in Washington. So, Catherine, what are we learning from all of this morning?
Well, Martha, a short time ago, the French Interior Minister, this is France's equivalent of the Homeland Security Secretary, confirming that one of their citizens is probably among the dozen executioners featured in the new ISIS video. The French are identifying the suspect as Maxime Houchard, and in the tape released Sunday, he takes part in the mass execution of Syrian military personnel who are systematically lined up and beheaded. Over the weekend, a leading Democrat described the tape as horrific and more evidence ISIS must be stopped.
This video that we have seen here, if verified, is a tragic reminder of the savagery and of ISIS and the complexity of our challenge.
Peter Kasich's family provided photos of his humanitarian work, asking the media not to further the ISIS agenda by broadcasting images of their son in captivity. This morning, there is universal condemnation from the White House, Defense Secretary, and politicians here in Washington, with the governor of Kasich's home state of Indiana asking that the flags be flown there at half-staff today in his memory.
This has got to stop. So what's the focus here for these investigators based on all of this in the tape?
Well, Martha, the same process we saw with the French is now being used, a very similar process, by the FBI and the National Counterterrorism Center, or NCTC, to review the 16-minute video with a strong focus on the identification of the unmasked executioners and possible matches against known or suspected ISIS recruits. Also, the new video is a departure from previous videotapes, which does not identify the next hostage to be executed. This is seen as more evidence the remaining hostages, including the man you see here, John Cantley, a British photographer who has been forced to act as a de facto ISIS spokesman, and at least one other American aid worker and possibly a second European are not held together. The video was released also in a novel way by hitting several distribution networks at once overnight. ISIS kept the video up longer, and it spread more widely, Martha.
And a lot of clear faces, as you point out, of the Syrian
soldiers.
soldiers.
Departure.
Yeah,
very big
executions, indeed. Catherine, thank you very much.
You're welcome.